Hey y'all, welcome back to my garden. And I do have to apologize because this video is way overdue. So I wanted to do a walk through the garden video in February and everything just kind of fell apart. So we're going to do the walkthrough on this windy day. So hopefully you can hear me okay. And we're also going to do a little life update on the things that have been going on. So let's go take a look at the garden. So we're going to start off with the front porch, and it's kind of like a menagerie of pots and plants right now. So these were my planters from the fall, and I've pulled out the kale because it was so overgrown, and then the pansies unfortunately got attacked with aphids. So we took all those out. So now we just have these little planters with the Dusty Miller, and I'm hoping to get those planted out in the landscape. Then you'll see all my seed starting mix here and some little ant killer there. And then we also have some of the creeping Jenny that I've been wintering over. Little bucket here because I had to do surgery on this plant the other day. I bought this when it was on sale and haven't gotten it in the ground yet. And it started to get, I'll show you here, some rust. So I took all of these pieces off here, and so this is in my little hospital. So I think it's going to do okay though. There may be some more leaves that I have to pull off, but I did go ahead and give it some fertilizer, and I'm planning on getting that in the ground soon. Then I have another little casualty of winter. This is one of the little cedars that I had here for Christmas, and it looks like it has died. I don't know what happened to it. Kept it watered. And then I also have this little Colorado blue spruce. So I'm excited about getting this in the ground as well. I was able to overwinter some of the chrysanthemums that I had on my porch. I just cut them back and they're already starting to flush back with all this new growth. So they look really, really pretty. And then we have some exciting planters here. So I have up this little baby gate because of that little sweet girl right there, Miss Winnie. So she likes to go visit the neighbors, so we have to keep the gate up for her. So let me get past the gate and I'll show you my little pots. Okay, so here's the other lemon cypress. I think I said cedar earlier, but it was grown the same way the other one was. So I don't really know what happened to it, but this one is doing really good. And then also, these are my daffodils that I've planted. And I had these in the back, and I just brought them up front. And then I also have some more here. These are not as quite far along because these were up on the porch, so they weren't getting all the warm sun on them. I need to put a little bit of water in there. And these were also in the back, and you can see they're forming up their little buds there. And these were three different mixes of daffodils that I planted in these little pots, so they should be really pretty. And then our arborvitaes are doing really well. And one of the most exciting things, our daffodils are blooming. So these are the ones that we planted last year. And I actually planted them in like a little square of 5. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not all of them have came back. So I don't know what happened. But there's a good many that have came back. And the ones that are coming back look like that they have multiplied. So they've grown from just the one stem that they had last year to these multiple stems. They are really, really pretty. Look at this one. Looks like sunshine. So pretty. And then we have some here. All right, so going around the front here, all of our boxwoods are doing good. They're putting on some new growth, and they have a little bit of the coloring from the winter. Here's their new growth. And look who's up there. Hi, Miss Winnie. Our sweet girl. That's our grand dog. She's a Doxy Cockapoo. I think she's got more Dotson in her though because she's loud. Sweet girl. And one of the biggest changes we've made up here, which doesn't look like much, but we removed all the incredible hydrangeas that were through this area. There were 7 of them. We took those out and we put them in the back of the neighbor's walking her dog. The next thing we need to do is we need to work on our nepeta and get all that trimmed back so it can flush back some pretty growth for this spring. Here are my plants that I bought when they were 50% off. You can see some of these are getting that same rusty on them, so I guess they might have to go to the plant hospital too. But we have exciting plans for these, and I know I need to go ahead and get them in the ground because they're going to be much happier in the ground than they are in these pots. And then another exciting thing, my fig tree is putting on growth. Look at there. It's getting a little leaf. And Phil, with Phil's Figs, helped me to prune this. So his method is to have 3 branches off of this. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. But it looks like this one is branching up, and this one's branching up, and this one. So every time I put my hand there, it doesn't want to focus. So there we go. That's our fig. Okay, so coming around the other side. Also, I didn't mention these are our wedding, I can't remember the name of them, hydrangeas, something wedding. And then here is our little dwarf blue spruce that we're going to plant in the back. So pretty. It's got all these little pine cones on it. More daffodils. More hydrangeas. And these will probably going to move these hydrangeas while they're still dormant because these are the ones the deer kept eating. So we probably need to go ahead and do that pretty soon because this one looks like it's trying to get some little buds on it. And it's interesting, the daffodils actually look like they've done better on the right side. So there's a big line of daffodils. And these are our roses that the deer also want to eat on, putting on new growth. But I might end up moving these 2 unless I cover them up with some type of cloche because the deer just want to eat everything in this front yard. And then the sweetest thing I noticed the other day, look at this little pansy. It came up volunteer from a seed. And it's doing so good. So pretty. Boxwoods are doing good over here as well. And the birds never use our bird bath. So anyway, needs to be cleaned. And these are so exciting. This is the first time I've ever grown the Serendipity Allium by Proven Winners. But these are a type of onion. And so the deer don't like to eat them. You can actually brush your hand on them like that. And you can smell the onion. So we have 3 of those. And when I planted them, we went ahead and cut the tops off because it was winter when we planted them. And now they're flushing back with all this beautiful growth. So they look really pretty. We've got a little trio there. And then we have a hydrangea here that's not doing very well, and one that's really not doing good here. Looks like a little stick. I don't know. It was big when we planted it, but it just, I don't know if it just doesn't like this spot, but it's not doing very well. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. This is the life of living in the country. We have a well that actually was for the irrigation system, but the well doesn't work anymore, and I can't find anybody who can work on it. So one of the areas we've been trying to work on is clearing out between our house and our neighbor's house, and there's still some sticks that we need to clean up. But this is an area that we want to do some more pretty plantings in, and to make a little line between the lawn and the pine straw so that we know where the pine straw starts and where the lawn starts. So that's something that we're going to be working on and developing this year. If I stand back this way, you can see the little sticks we pile up. I'll have to come around and pick those up. Look at the ants. Terrible. So we're hoping that we can do, like in front of that tree, we'll do a line. We kind of have a little bit. You can see a little bit of the line. So it'll look like flower bed here and it'll look like grass here. And as you can see, we definitely need to work on our grass. We have centipede planted here, but since we bought the house, we've always had a problem with this bald spot here. And then also with this bald spot here. And I think they may have had something parked here at one time, maybe a boat or camper. So we're going to be working on getting some pre-emergent down and some fertilizer this spring. And Miss Winnie is still unhappy. All right, let's go to the back. Okay, so now we're in the back. So these are my pots from last year that had the beautiful ferns. So we're going to take these out and we're going to save the ivy that's coming out. And I have a project in mind for that. This one here, the same thing. The ivy did really well overwintering. I was kind of wondering if it would die, but it lived through our whole winter. So that's very exciting. And of course, everything needs to be pressure washed. Such is the life of the north side of your house. And then we've got our bleeding hearts is starting to come up. Just a tiny, tiny bit that you can see here. It's coming up. And then we've got some heucheras. And this whole bed is filled with hostas. So they're still asleep right now. And then we were able to overwinter some snapdragons. So these were snapdragons I grew from seed last year. And I just cut them back pretty short this winter. And they've came back this much. So that was very exciting. Isn't that pretty heuchera? Yeah, hi Miss Winnie. It's very windy out here. And then we've got our foxglove out here to keep it away from our little puppies. I don't want to open the gate because she'll fly out. Now, one of our most exciting things that we've been working on is our cottage garden. So we got all of the tall guy arborvitaes planted. We bought these from a local nursery and they're put out by First Editions. And my daughter, she dug the holes and planted them, and she did such a fabulous job. Look how straight she got them. She's such a precision person with measuring everything. And then in between each arborvitae, we have the incredible hydrangeas. They just look like sticks right now, but these are the ones from the front. So hopefully they'll be a little happier back here. This is the north side of our house, so a little less sun in the south. And then also the deer won't be constantly eating them. Here's another hydrangea that was my daughter's, that was in a pot, so we took it out, put it in the ground. And then we have our little phlox here. Looks like little sticks, but when it comes up, it looks like this. Sorry about the dog. Winnie. It's the Monrovia Sweet Summer Queen Phlox. So it is coming back here at the base, you can see. And then we have our Autumn Joy Sedum, looking very pretty there. And then we have another phlox. And then we have a hydrangea. So this was supposed to be like a quick fire hydrangea, but when it bloomed, it was not a quick fire hydrangea. So we don't really know what it was. It was mislabeled at the nursery. And then one of the most exciting finds we just found is one of the little miniature peaches. Look how beautiful. Just loaded full of blossoms. And this is a bonfire patio peach. And I picked this one up at Home Depot or Lowe's. I think it was Lowe's. Sorry. Look how pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. And as I'm about to fall in my neck here, this is the lamb's ear that I picked up on one of our shopping trips. I snuck it into the car. And it is the Helen Von Stein lamb's ear. It is so pretty and so soft. I can't wait to get this planted. I know a lot of people wonder why I get so excited when I find things, but for some reason, the area that we live in, we just don't have a good selection of plants. I'm so happy that I found a nursery closer to me that had a good selection, but it's still like an hour away. Then I picked up this Southern Living Plant Connection, the Diamond Spirea Gardenia, or Spire Gardenia. Let's say that over again. Diamond Spire Gardenia. Sorry about that. So these are gardenia that grow more in an upright pattern. I've had some gardenias before that were huge, like trees. This is another gardenia, and it is not doing well. It was planted in the front of our house, and it was getting way too much water, way too much sun, and so now it's back here at our plant hospital. Look how funny this is. Are you relaxing? She lives the best life ever. Relaxing here by the pool. Then we have some rosemary that was able to winter over, so that was exciting. Some more of the autumn joy sedum. And this was a little lavender that I grew from a clipping last year. So I've actually just kind of cut it back, and it's doing really, really good. And I did not know that drift roses had a beautiful smell, but this drift rose smells so good. It smells like herbal essence shampoo, and it is the apricot drift. Isn't that beautiful? And it has just been blooming its head off since we bought it. So I have high hopes for it. Hopefully the Japanese beetles don't have high hopes for it as well. So as you can see, our Incredibles, they have put on so much growth. Guys, I bought these in 2023 in quart-sized containers in, 2022 in October. Quart-sized containers from Proven Winners. So they were like little sticks. And this is how much they've grown since then. They have put on so much growth. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping that they do well. And this is the end of our cottage garden here. We still have to finish making the line for it. We're going to kind of have like a curve. We got another pallet of topsoil. So this is 60 bags here. And that is going to be for this area here. So I said we work like ADHD gardeners. So we were so excited and we got all of this done here. And then we started planting our arborvitaes and our Incredibles. And it's like we just kind of forgot that we still have all of this to do. So all of these rocks still have to be taken out. And it is such a job. But we're getting it done a little bit by little bit. And this is the start of our hedge kind of here at the pool. We have the hydrangea here, and then we have a pink muley grass there. And I got to do a lesson, taught my daughters how to cut back grasses, and then also taught them how to cut back the sedum. So we got all these cut back, and then also cut back the hydrangeas, and I think they did a really good job. And this is my other basket full of daffodils, just loaded. So excited about that. And then once they get finished blooming, we can plant them up front. Another hydrangea here, and then another pink muley grass here. Pink muley grass is actually native to North Carolina, so it grows extremely well. So these grasses will probably end up having to be divided in the future. So we might just have like muley grass everywhere. And then we've got another sedum. I know you can't see it very good because it's mixed in with all these weeds. And then we have another pink muley grass. Now we did have one of our hydrangeas to die, and we're not really sure what happened. We do get moles in our yard, so I don't know if a mole came up and ate the roots. That could very well be, but it just started turning brown last year, and we pulled it up, and literally all of its roots fell off. So I think something got underneath the ground and was eating at it. Then we have a little a little container here. My daughter said, "Mom, what is that grass? I mean, what is that flower?" I said, "Oh, well, that's a beautiful weed." But I mean, it's doing a great job being a weed, isn't it? And this is my daughter's lilac bush. So we were actually just looking at where she wants to plant this. But she bought this as a bare root last year, and we put it in this pot. And it started off with just this one stick. And now she's got all these little sticks. So that's very exciting. But we want to put it somewhere where it can just grow and be big. Because, lilacs get big. They also like our soil. So that's a good thing. We have very alkaline soil here. And here's another one of my arborvitaes. These guys are the arborvitaes that you can buy at Christmas. You know, the Lowe's, Home Depot that have the bow on top of them that you can get after Christmas for like $5. That's how big it gets in just a couple of years. So definitely worth it. And then we had some of this sedum to overwinter as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to come in and give it a haircut and then maybe divide it. Look how pretty that is. It just sat here all winter, but I guess it was warm enough in this pot to keep growing. Now I am trying to do the winter sowing method here. Marigolds, and I can't remember what I planted in this one. I'll have to go back and look at the tag, but they're not really doing much. So we'll see. But speaking of seeds, I wanted to kind of give you a little life update on what's going on with us right now. Miss Winnie, you having a great day? All right. Okay, so a little bit of the life update. So February was very exciting. The beginning of February, I did get to go see Phil at Phil's Figs. So if you haven't seen those videos, please go back and watch them because he did such a great job of explaining about figs and how to take care of them. And he's just a wealth of knowledge. And I just appreciate him so much taking time on his Saturday to teach me about figs because I absolutely love figs, probably more than most people. So anyway, so then after that, I started not feeling well, and I went to the emergency room, and they sent me home with some Advil, and then started feeling even worse in the next couple of days, and went back to my doctor and figured out that I had a urinary tract infection. So after 10 days of antibiotics, I felt so much better. But in the meantime, we had our dishwasher to break at our house, and then a dishwasher to stop working at one of our Airbnbs, and then a garbage disposal to crack and start leaking at another one of our Airbnbs, and then water that wouldn't shut off at one of the tubs at another one of our Airbnbs. And all of these things were just like on top of another thing. So that's what happens in life, and I know everybody's life is like that. But then the cherry on top was that we noticed that our hardwood floors were starting to buckle, and we're like, what's going on? Was it, maybe because we had the dishwasher replaced and maybe the dishwasher is leaking? And we pull out our refrigerator, and it's the refrigerator. It is the water line that goes to the ice maker had been leaking, and we don't know how long it had been leaking for, but it leaked long enough to buckle our hardwood floors. So now we are in the process of having to get our hardwood floors replaced where they're damaged and refinished where the rest of the bottom part of our house. So that means that we're going to have to move out of our house for probably a month when they do the floors. It takes like 2 weeks to do the floors, and then we have to have so many days before we can walk on them again, and then so many days before we can put furniture on them again. So essentially, we're going to be moving out of our house for a month. And this will be the month that I was so excited about starting seeds. And that's just not going to happen because I can't take care of baby seedlings if I'm living in a hotel or an Airbnb. So the seedlings will just have to wait this year. And that's okay because we all have seasons in our life. And this is just the season that we're going through right now. So once our floors get finished, we'll also have to do something with the cabinet that was damaged and the other cabinets that are surrounding it. And you know how that goes. It almost just becomes like this mudslide of everything that has to be done. So that's the update from the home front. We do have 2 little dogs that we'll have to take with us, and we have chickens, so I guess we'll have to come back every day to take care of our chickens. So hopefully we can live someplace close enough to be able to take care of the chickens and the plants and the pool, and you know how life is, everything that we have to take care of. So the videos may be a little bit more sporadic, or we could just be going on shopping trips or garden trips or whatever life brings us. But I'm so glad that you're here with me, and I'm so glad that you're here with me with this journey of learning and growing together. And I thank you for all that have subscribed, and I do appreciate it, and I read all of your comments. So keep putting your comments down there and your well wishes, and we'll see you next time. Bye, friends.